Hey everybody, it's Amy Graham, Badass Valkyrie, and I just got home from camping, and so I needed to set up my books for the next week, and I thought, why not try to film this? So several of you have asked to see what I do in my Hobonichis every week to get it all set up, and so I thought, all right, maybe today is the day because one, I don't feel like putting on makeup or doing my hair or anything like that since I just got out of the shower for camping. So I have my mega weeks. I have my A6, which is what I do my Miracle Morning in, and the weekly. It's also got the weekly insert there. And then I have my Cousin Avec, and this is the last month in my Cousin Avec for the January to June version. And I will go ahead and start with it because it is the most time intensive, I think. I don't really do anything. Once I have the months set up for the monthly overview, it's pretty much set. On occasion, I will go in and put in some of the washi tape at the bottom. But other than that, it's pretty much done. So what we will do is I will flip over to the weekly view. And as you can see here, I add things to the sidebar and I add lines to the top to break this out to show where I can do more there. And this week we're going to be using this washi tape that I got in my Cocoa Daisy for June, and it's poppies, which I love. And then we're going to use this Stettler Fine Line or Tri-Plus liner, this double or the mild liner here, and I don't know, nope, it doesn't tell you the color for the mild liner. And then I've got these two pens and then my Pilot fountain pen, as well as the Versa Magic ink, which is the chalk pigment, and then my weather stamp that I use in both my Hobonichi Cousin and in my weeks, and I'll show you where I do that. So we will go ahead and get this all set up. And I think I might actually, I have thought about putting this here, but I had changed my mind. But let me go ahead and just show you how I draw these things out. There's already some pre-planning in there because I do that. And I'm going to use the Stettler Fine Liner for the lines on the weekly layout. And so I will, I think, speed this up if I can figure out the way to do it. But if not, you're just going to have to deal with me doing this. But this is literally what I do. And it is quite interesting, the fact that I put that too low. So we'll have two lines there. And so I apologize if you see my head in something or it comes out if I block something, because I am not used to doing this on camera at all. And so what I'm doing is I block this off, and so that I put my main focus here. Like if you'll go back through here, the one or two things that are the main focus of that day. And at the bottom, then right below the 0, I block that line off as well. And then I go in and I block out each day. And yes, I know this is a lot of color blocking, but it's how it makes sense to me to do in my Hobonichi. And it's actually very comforting to do this on a Sunday morning. And I usually get up very early and have my Miracle Morning and then do this portion of it. And I usually do it for 1 or 2 weeks. I'm just going to do 1 week for right now to show you guys. As you can see how I'm laying this out, and I'll just do a couple of the dailies so that you don't have to sit there and watch me do all of this. But I do this Now these are technically 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the morning. This is midnight at 0 because this is a military time layout. But because the new layout for the 2018 Hobonichis, this used to be just little block check boxes, and I miss that a lot, and I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I block these off, and it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 things to get done. So that's what I do there. So then the week is set out, or set up that way. And then over here, make sure you guys can see that. I come over here and put in my line there. I've got that there. And usually about 3 o'clock, I'll put the second line in here. And I'll go all the way over. It's usually 2 or 3 o'clock, but my weekly goals for what I'm trying to do, my cleaning tasks and things, I'm breaking this up now so that these are my cleaning tasks for the house. And then here will be my tasks for Rebel Athena. So when I'm doing things that I need to get done for Rebel Athena, it'll be along this bottom line. So I'm going to go ahead and cap that for a minute. And I'm going to fill this out. So this is weekly goals. And this is cleaning tasks. And this is Rebel Athena's. So that whole bottom line, if there's things that I need to do, I already know that Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I have a group run. With the run club, and that is at 6. So that's 3. I know that 15 is 3, so I always do it's like 3, 4, 5, 6. And another way you can also remember this is, in general, anytime afternoon, if you take 2 away, like 4 is 2. So, or 4 minus 2 is 2 o'clock. 5 minus 2 is 3 o'clock. And so forth. So 8 minus 2 is 6 o'clock. And at 6 p.m. we have a Rebel Athena's walk in the park. And that usually goes till about 7:30, but because this is only the second time we've done this, I'm giving it, I won't actually put in a bottom time or cross it off. I also have a mammogram appointment at 4:30 on Monday, Top Golf office party on Tuesday, and that's what I have so far. Oh, and because we had to push forward our couples massage today, even though I came back, I got up at 6 o'clock this morning to drive all the way back so I could make it 11, and then they ended up canceling it, so it's at 1:30, so couples massage. And it's an hour and a half. So we'll do that and put 1.5 hours. They gave us a free half hour since they didn't let us know that they canceled the appointment. And so that is pretty much done. Oh, I do have to actually put in what I do. So I do 20-minute clean, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'll just go in and check those off. And then I want to do a run 3 times this week. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then I want to do a ride at least twice. 1, 2, and then do a transition ride to run, and I will do that 1 time this week, and then I will run a 5K this week at some point. I'll do that once, and then I will do no spend days, and I'm just going to put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I'll check off the days that I have that done. Cleaning tasks that I normally do during the week are Change sheets. Clean bathrooms. Get the trash out. Vacuum. The one thing I need to focus on is the study couch, so I am moving that forward from this week. And as you see, we have that. I did sit the litter, did clean the bathrooms and change the sheets, but the laundry is not finished, so we're going to move that forward. Study couch, sit the litter, do laundry, start the dishwasher. When it's just my husband and I, it takes us a little while before we get it filled for the dishwasher. And I want to do some meal prepping this week. If you notice up here, it says start a whole life challenge. I'm following the whole life rules for the next 6 weeks. I'm just not going on the website and doing it. I may do that the next one, but I want to, before I pay my $29, I want to make sure that I can just do it. And if that's the case, then I don't need to worry about it. But I do know it makes you more accountable to do it with a team. And so possibly when they start the next 6 weeks after this they start on the 20th. So I think it goes till August. And so maybe in August, the Rebel Athenas will be far along enough that if people want to do it, we could set it up as far as the team goes. I've got to, for the Rebel Athenas, I know I've got to do my origin story, which is basically my introduction to the world. And I love that people call it the origin story because, with my superhero background, I absolutely adore that. I need to install Libsyn. I have a 3-month code that I'm using for the first 3 months to get my podcast up there, and so I don't want to start that too early. So that's the weekly overview pretty much done until I actually go in and add things in, and I do that throughout the week. And then for the dailies, you can kind of see here how I have it broken down, and I will, let's see. Like here is Friday. Here's Saturday, which, because I was camping, I didn't get anything really written in, but I will go back and fill it out. But here is my to-do list. This is my schedule, because I don't need anything before 4 a.m. or after midnight. Here is where I write any exercises that I get done. And then these are the things my habits that I'm focusing on. And what I do is I literally write in my habits every morning, because that makes me more aware of them. And so I just have a cheat sheet that I use to write those in, and it's after as I said, I do it daily. And then that's my word of the day, and this is where I have the weather. So just to kind of show you how I do this, we will go, I do have that fine liner, but I think I'm going to use this one to have it match better. So since it's the second half of the month, and I know that we block this off starting at midnight. We go to that bold line, and then we go to the line below the 3. And Now this is the most time consuming portion of it, is the dailies. But like I said, I usually do 2 weeks at a time. And it works out very well. It keeps me very on top of everything, which I love. And it is, again, very comforting to do this. Some people do watercolors, some people, you know, read, whatever. This is what I do. This is very relaxing to me. And then for my word of the day, I just go up 3 squares and I don't put it all the way over. And then I put in my dot line, my checkoff boxes, which is kind of a habit from my bullet journaling. And I just go in and I put a dot for each one. Now, I will show you a comparison. So these have been used, I've been using the mild liners in here, and it's not too much of a bleed through, but I'll show you, like here is where I used the Tri Plus fine liner, the Statler fine liner. So you can see it's a much thicker line, but you know, that's okay. And that's the bleed through that you see, or the ghosting that you see in there, and that's not very bad at all. I mean, literally it's nothing. And plus, when you can, as you'll see, go ahead and go back in and do this side of it. You are, sorry, I hate this little ruler because it has a thick side of it and it doesn't work very well with the fine or the mid liners, mild liners, whatever they're called. There we go. So you're pretty much just copying what you do on each page. As far as the horizontal lines, they're pretty much the same. They're just opposite. So, oh, and see, normally I wouldn't go all the way up. I'm getting nervous because I'm doing this on camera. So, and when you make mistakes, I usually just leave them. And then this way, if I have that like that, then I'm just going to go in and put 3 dots, and then I've got that separated into checklists now. So you just kind of make the best of it. Yeah. See, I was talking and not paying attention, and so see where this is on the main line? I put it over here for some reason, and it should have been there. So, yeah, I screwed up. So I will go back in and fix this and make it the right line. And then, by the way, Monday the 18th is sushi day. So there it is at the 0. The 3, that's the section where I write my exercise down. So the other thing I don't like about the fine line or the mild liners is that you get, I mean, it kind of sits on that. You don't get that with the mild liner or the fine liner. So, but I figured this would be easier for you guys to see. And we're going to go ahead and put that line there. And I don't know what I'll leave that there, and I'll just kind of work around it, and we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and do one of these with the Tri Plus fine liner, so you guys can get an idea of what it's, the difference side by side. And honestly, you wouldn't have to do any of these if you just remembered the sections, but I like having the sections in there. It makes me happy. I just make the dots to it gives me some place to put the bottom of the check when I check it off. There we go. And I did not put the dots over here. Or the line. So there we go. All right, so that's what I do in the Cousin Avec, and I usually do that for the 2 weeks, and then I move into my weeks, and we've got that here. And again, I don't do anything with my monthly because it's pretty much set up and there's not a lot of room here. So I leave the monthly. And as you can see, I put in stickers or something to decorate with. Sometimes there's big things happening like the weekend banners and that kind of thing. This was this week. Now this is where I stamp for the weather in this one. So we will get that done in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and use the fine liner or the Tri Plus, yeah, fine liner in this because the mild liner bulks up the line too much and it bugs me. In this way, I just separate the line. I highlight the lines, I guess that's what you would call it. If you hear the door, that's my cat and my dog competing to get in and out of my studio. Heimdall got locked in, and so he is suffering, and then because Heimdall isn't here, Saki feels like she should be in here as well. So, there's that, and then I just separate the days, and then along the same line as I do on my Cousin Avec, I block it out. It just makes it look better for me, I think. And then over here, oops, my thing is getting all crazy. There we go. Ah, that would be why, because it's got a paper clip. Okay, over here where I do my tracking as far as my self-care goes, I do this. I usually do it all the way across. And I know that it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's on the one on the other side of the bold line. And this one is usually a tough one to get, especially when your finger gets in the way. But I like having that line there on at least one side of the page. And this is my orders and shipping notifications and deliveries. And so up at the top, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. All right. And this is kind of where I like to do an alternate color. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is things we start the Whole Life Challenge there. And so my focus, my weekly focus is food journal. And meal prep. Okay, and then down here, I need one more line. And here I have it, orders and shipments. I do the same thing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, and then so like here, I have once more with love stickers that were lost. I hit a receive, received once more with love space order, received. Ordered is Chic Sparrow second chance sale. An O is an order, R is a received. So that's what you have there. And then I stamp. And this stamp was made specifically for the weeks. So there you have it. It's the right width. So you just put it in there. You've got to make sure you get it stamped solidly. So you just try to get it in there really well. And there's that. So I will go in and usually put this, and this is not for it to be, you know, super specific as far as the weather goes, but it tells me what to expect, especially during run nights. So, and even though I don't like running in over 100-degree weather, it helps me prepare to know what is coming and what I pack in the mornings for my running gear. Because usually if I'm going to run in the park, I will run right after work. So there are those, and I will leave that to dry for a minute, and then I will come back here and show you how I do the dailies. Oh, well, I've already done the dailies in here, so I guess I don't have to show you that. But because this ink is, it will smudge, that's why I need to let that dry for a minute. I usually take a Post-it or some sort of scratch paper, and so I stamp this, and then I stamp this, and then before I turn the page, I will put a piece of scratch paper here and then fold and have it cover the bottom, and then fold it over, and then I'll stamp there and stamp there, and I'll do the same thing with another scratch piece of paper. Then I'll fold it over, and then I'll stamp and stamp, but before I fold this one over, I'll pull the first sheet of the 3 out and put it here. So usually it's 3 times in a row that it's going. But those are all stamped, so I don't have to worry about it. And then, so what I'll do now is while that's drying, take that back up, I will put I usually have, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I just felt in the mood to put washi tape at the bottom. So, and this washi tape usually matches the washi tape in my bullet journal. So this is what I'll be using in my bullet journal today, later on tonight when I set that up. I realize that I do not have my final line down this. So, the Miracle Morning, and I'll check that off Monday through Sunday. Kickstart edition. And that is, you follow a lot of, there are certain things that you just can't have, and carbs are, well, I shouldn't say carbs, it's bread mostly, that I'm going to be cutting out, and extraneous sugars, but I'm going to be following it. You can go to their website, and you can actually pull this off of their website. And so it's the Kickstart food list, and so this is what I'll be following. To be compliant, you can have all of these different things, but in limited amounts. You can't have like dried fruit with added sugar on the back. These are not compliant as far as the grains go, but you can still have corn tortillas, quinoa, buckwheat, oats and oatmeal, amaranth, and rice. Although many of those things I don't eat anyway. And then no beer, no soda. Woohoo! Now, the only thing that I am not following is cheese of any kind. I will still eat cheese. I don't eat cream or sour cream or whey protein or buttermilk or regular milk. But because I am lactose intolerant. But string cheese and a lot of the cheeses are one of my main sources of calcium and protein. And so no ice cream, anything like that, but I will eat cheese on this. And then I'm not having candy, desserts, sugar, or sweeteners. It does say you can use stevia and coconut sugars, and then you can use honey, maple syrup over here. But really, I just use the honey in my apple cider vinegar in the mornings. And then non-compliant would be white potato fries, which are fried chips of any kind, including vegetables, including vegetable popcorn. But you can have sweet potato fries and all of that kind of stuff on this side. So, even though the things that have the asterisk next to them, they want you to limit them. So this is basically my guideline that I'm going to be following for the next 6 weeks. And I just needed a kickstart, and I'm like, let's go ahead and do that. And so there's that. And so the only other thing that I have is my where I set up my Hobonichi to check off the savers. And so I actually use my Hobonichi stencil, and I use those squares. And so this is week 12 for me. And so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use purple today, because I don't use any kind of washi tape or anything in this. And so I am just going to do it this way. And so you have, for the Miracle Morning, you have silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. And then if you'll notice on here, I put a line at 3 and a line at 0. Here, I put what exercises I'm doing this week, and most of the week I did 50 squats and 50 knees to elbows twist with a twist. And so I did that. And then if there's anything that I feel off about, I just put at the bottom, just so I have a way of tracking. And so for this, I will take my Tri Plus fine liner, put that there, put that there, put it there, and there for the week. And then I will go and I will show you how I do the rest of the week, because I don't write savers out the whole time, the rest of the week. I just line that up, do 3 additional boxes. I like having boxes to check off. Three. Okay, and sometimes the boxes don't turn out perfect, but that's okay. So here I just mark SAVERS. Whoops. All right, so I'm just going to have to make that box there. Okay, so there we go. And thinking what I'm going to do also is put in my, maybe put in my meal tracking or my meal something here. I'm just going to add that there and see if there's anything that I can come up with for that day. Put that there. And so what I have done in the past is my weekly top 3 goals on this side, and then exercises done this week and how I'm feeling in the morning. And so this is actually week 11 of the Miracle Morning, and this is week 12. I am on day 74. So I'll fill in the top goals tomorrow morning before work when I'm up at 4:45 every morning. And then I will go in and put, oh, I forgot to put that. I do have a marker there. So then here is where I write in the, I take the Miracle Morning journal, and I've done this before, showing you guys where I'm putting it here. So I'm in week 12, and so these are the questions that I will use for week 12. And so let me just make sure that I'm not on previous one. I haven't filled out today's yet because I literally got up at 6 a.m. to come in and I was so exhausted. I will be grateful rather than complain because, okay, so we're on the right month, or right week. So this starts week 12. And so I'm going to take Monday's question, I will be open to new experiences, and I will just write that here. And there that sets. I have not actually written in this book because if this doesn't come out with a version for 2019, then I can just go back and use it again and not be influenced by the answers. So that's why I do it that way. So Tuesday's question is, I will feel the fear and do it anyway because doing something I haven't done before is always worth it. So I will feel the fear do it anyway. Because doing something. I haven't done before. Okay, and so then I'll just journal those. And it mentions here, so this is what I do in the weekly supplement is pretty much that right there. And then I have the top 3 goals that I am committed to achieving during the week. And then what are my accomplishments and disappointments? What commitments will I make now to ensure I improve next week? And I usually put that somewhere in previous sections. But what I've been doing for June is the week 10 and 11. These are the top 3. I just write them down so I have them. And that's in the June welcome page. And so there's space to write it. So this is how I set up my week. And so this is all done in the Hobonichis. I've done a setup before in my bullet journal, but it will take a little bit more time. So I didn't want to do that this time. This is how I set all of these up. And then on my stencil, I just keep it in the back of my Hobonichi weeks. And there's that. I shut this. This is actually in a Hobonichi A6 cover. And then I have that. I've got my weeks goes into a Christina Gomez Traveler's Notebook. I have, this is my self-care tracker, and this is my sales tracker. So I just keep that right there. And there's that. My little orange pen, my Signo, Uniball Signo DX goes right there. And there you have it. My Hobonichi setup for the week. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please let me know below and I will happily answer anything for you. If you section out your Hobonichis, let me know because I would love to know how you separate and break things out and keep track of things in there. Because Hobonichi is set out on a grid, it's just so easy to separate and do sections and all of that. And so if you do that, please let me know and share with me how you do that, because I would love to try some different spreads. And since we're getting into the second half of the year, these next couple of weeks are especially good because if I don't like it, then they will be in the old book. So this one will get changed out July 1st. And then we'll actually go into One Book July into my Finsbury Filofax. But I will still be updating these. I'll still be working in this one for my Miracle Morning. But these will get updated once a week just because I don't want to have a blank month. That would make me crazy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it has answered some questions for some of you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I would love a thumbs up for the video. And you can click that bell, and that will actually show you or let you know anytime that I have a new video going up. I usually try to post on Sundays and on Thursdays. And I do my blogs sometime during the week. My podcasts will be coming out starting July 1st for Rebel Athenas. And I am trying to do a blog every 2 weeks, but I have a feeling that'll probably go to every week, but we'll see how I can manage my time and my training and everything else. So I hope you guys have a great day and spend the rest of your life celebrating, because it is definitely worth it. And have a great day. Bye.